Hello. Let's talk about something that affects every home, but likely never gets discussed during design conversations: indoor air quality. Most people assume that if their home is clean, new, or recently renovated, the air inside must be healthy. But the reality is this: modern homes have often worse indoor air quality than older ones, not because builders are doing something wrong, but because the entire construction industry has been trained to think of air quality as a ventilation checkbox rather than a biological system. Welcome back to the Renovation Secrets podcast, where we talk about some of the uncomfortable truths in the residential design, build, and renovation industry, and why I created the WELLbuilt system to help designers, builders, and homeowners maximize the how of making our homes support our health and well-being. For those of you who are new, welcome. My name is Natalia Pierce, and with over 20 years in the renovation industry, being a certified master kitchen and bath designer and WELL certified, I have seen firsthand how our homes are failing the families who live in them. Too often, speed in execution and budget take over the priority, especially in new construction. We introduced the first element of WELLbuilt in episode 7 on lighting, which I will get to and expand in more greater detail in future episodes. But today we move on to the second element of WELLbuilt: indoor air quality. We focused on insulation, we focused on air tightness, we focused on energy efficiency, but we haven't focused nearly enough on what happens to the air once it's trapped inside the building envelope, and that has consequences. Why indoor air quality became a critical design issue. The average person spends about 90 to 95% of their time indoors, which means the quality of the air inside your home and your office has more impact on your health than the air outside. And yet most residential projects make exactly two assumptions. If there's an HRV unit, the air must be fine. If there's a range hood, the kitchen must be fine. Neither of those assumptions are reliable. Indoor air quality is influenced by cooking, cleaning products, building materials, cabinetry finishes, furnishings, flooring, combustible appliances, attached garage, humidity levels, materials that we bring into home, things that we use, and so on and so on and so on. Air is not static. It's dynamic, reactive, and constantly changing, which means it has to be managed intentionally. The airtight home paradox. One of the biggest shifts in residential construction over the last 20 years has been the move towards airtight building envelopes, and this is a great thing. Energy efficient homes are way more comfortable, they're more durable, and more predictable to operate. But airtight homes also trap contaminants way more effectively. So if ventilation isn't properly designed or used consistently, pollutants accumulate rather than dissipate. This includes carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, nitrogen dioxide from gas cooking, volatile organic compounds or VOCs from finishes, furniture, and other products entering the home and used, particulate matter coming from cooking, and excessive humidity. Most homeowners assume these are rare exposures, but in reality, they're daily exposures. The kitchen is the largest source of indoor air pollution. One of the biggest surprises for clients is learning that the kitchen is typically the largest single contributor to indoor air pollutants inside a home. Cooking releases particulate matter at levels that can exceed outdoor urban traffic conditions, especially when frying, searing, or using gas appliances. And don't get me wrong, I love gas appliances, but without proper ventilation, these particles remain suspended in the air and circulate throughout the house. And here's the critical part. If a range hood is too noisy, people don't use it. It also must evacuate to the exterior of the home. None of this recirculating stuff. So performance isn't just about airflow or capacity. It's about whether the system is quiet enough to become part of daily behavior. And that's where design decisions start affecting health outcomes directly. A lot of homeowners assume that upgrading their furnace filter solves indoor air quality concerns. Filtration does help, don't get me wrong, but filtration is only one piece of the strategy. Healthy indoor air depends on three things working together: ventilation, filtration, and source control. And increasingly, there's a fourth component that's becoming essential and is often never included, and that's monitoring. Because if you don't measure indoor air quality, you're making decisions based on assumptions instead of actual evidence. And why monitoring changes everything. Monitoring is where indoor air quality shifts from theory to reality. When homeowners can see levels of carbon dioxide, particulate matter, humidity, and volatile organic compounds, or VOCs, something important happens. Air quality stops being invisible and behavior changes. People turn on range hoods more often. They ventilate differently. They adjust humidity levels earlier before they become a problem. They recognize when something inside the home is affecting how they feel. Monitoring transforms indoor air from something passive into something manageable. The bigger role indoor air quality plays inside the WELLbuilt framework. Indoor air quality is the second element of the WELLbuilt system because it operates quietly in the background of everyday life. People don't usually notice air quality until something goes wrong, until headaches start appearing, or fatigue increases, or sleep feels inconsistent, or allergies don't improve while indoors. But when air quality is designed and verified properly, the difference is measurable. And more importantly, it's noticeable, because a home shouldn't just protect you from the weather outside. It should actively support how you function inside. And that's where indoor air quality stops being a mechanical system and starts becoming part of a healthy strategy. If you want more information on the WELLbuilt system, head to our website at detailbydesign.ca/wellbuilt. As a professional, you can sign up for the pilot launch, which is happening later in April 2026, or as a homeowner, we can also do a WELLbuilt analysis. Until next time, breathe easy, and thanks for listening. Credits to Hill Makes Music for our intro music. Have a wonderful day.